Hi everyone. So tonight we've got Achterbahn. This is week 21 of the Herd Racing League. This is race 2 and it's Achterbahn. And Achterbahn, as those that know it, is one of the really tough climbs. It's, well, anything from a 16 minute up to, 25, 30 minutes, depending on your category. It's going to be an all-in climb for most of the people. So going to be tough at the front. We'll be looking at checking out people's heart rates to see how they're managing that. But yeah, looking at the field, there's a nice bunch of A riders, but then there's quite a few Bs that definitely could challenge. Um, so in terms of the A's, you've got Mike Scafardi. He's always very strong. Tyler O'Callaghan, he's been winning races left, right, and centre. A couple of really good herd riders, Big Bry and Bobby. And then you got Jason Robinson and a couple of OTR guys, Robin Swinton and Vincent. In terms of the Bs, you've got Paul Shuckero, Mike Fish, all very strong. Alex Cooper is also riding. He's a very light rider and a very, very good climber. So it's going to be interesting. Max Szymanski's back, which is nice to see. Only one herd B, which is kind of interesting, which is Kenneth Liu. In the C's, again, not a huge field. We've got Angie, Kyle, and Tracy, and then Ed Whedon in the D's. So, in fact, let me just refresh that to make sure that no new people have joined since I last looked at it. Yeah, kind of looks fairly similar. Yeah, no more herds. So, yeah, very few herds tonight, which is well, it's not disappointing, but this race is a really hard one, and I think it probably puts people off. So in the earlier race today, a group of maybe 7 of us broke away. It was pretty spicy up the hill. A really fantastic ride by, and I think he was an OTR rider called Adam Vort, who was actually about 20 seconds behind the main group at one point, but came through and won it by around 15 seconds. So that was pretty impressive. Mark Prado was second, and Colin Rem was third. Up the climb, it was around 16 and a half minutes, which is pretty quick. Um, no, I looked at this race and nobody's done under 17 minutes. And that's not to say that a few of those PRs will be amended tonight. Anyway, they're off, and let's see. It's looking quite a spicy start, actually. There's a lot of people over 4 watts per kilo, and if I were them, I'd definitely be pacing it because this is going to be a war of attrition compared to most races. So let's check out the herd guys just to make sure that they all are joined. Yep, we've got Bobby there. Um, quite a few OTRs in that front group. Yeah, everyone's pretty much together right now, and I would expect it to stay this way until they hit the climb, and that's when things really start to. I mean, you will see within the first couple of minutes, it will have strung right out. So great to see Max back in the Herd Winter Racing League. He was quite a common opponent of mine. We duked it out quite a few times, but I haven't seen him recently. So right now we've got a guy really pushing off the front, which, it's not a bad tactic, but there's a long way to go. But yeah, he's definitely making a break for it. And there is a little bit of a gap actually. Even yeah, they've got about a couple of second gap over the main peloton. Oh, Bobby's closed up. Paul Shuckero's closed up. Yeah. it looks like it's all coming back together. But yeah, that's kind of interesting. That was Danae Cotton was pushing it on. I did see that there's a guy called Lothar Scheld who signed up for this. He's got absolutely mad numbers. He's the only A plus in the field. He tends to be disqualified from nearly all the races because I think he's potentially a Zwift Power rider, which aren't allowed um, in terms of the results. So he will potentially get disqualified, but because of the kind of power that this guy puts out, it's potentially going to change up the whole race. So it'll be interesting to well keep an eye on that guy because his numbers. I mean, he's 60. Not saying I'm skeptical, but he's over 60. He's got a 20-minute um, watts per kilo of over 5, which is frightening. And yeah, let's see how he goes. But like I say, I think he's a Zwift Power rider, so I don't think he'll appear in the results. But he is going to be having a material impact on the race. Okay, but let's stay positive. So everyone's together. The front group is around 20 riders. There's already a small gap, and a couple of herd guys have dropped into that exact move. But you know what? I'd recommend that because it's worth pacing it. This is definitely not one where you want to push too hard too soon. So about a kilometre now before the climb. It's funny. It kicks up a little bit at this point, which is a little bit unsavoury when you've got a massive climb ahead of you. And it kind of goes back down again, and then they'll be starting the climb in properly. Good to see Bobby still up there, and it's already strung out with our man. Borders is this, yeah, this could be the guy that I was talking about, although I think he had a different, yeah, hopefully they won't chase that guy because yeah, that will definitely have a big impact on the race if they do. Even Alex Cooper has actually gone after him. Now Alex is a very light rider, so this course will probably suit him better than anyone. And he's a very good climber. His PB on this course is around 18 minutes, but if he chases this guy and going at 6 watts per kilo, he's likely to beat that PB, and he's already got a couple of seconds on many of the main pack. Great to see Bobby pushing along, just casually over 5 watts per kilo. But what we're going to do is keep an eye on people's heart rates. Alex is at 170 now. That was me. I would be backing right off. But Alex is a lot younger than me. Already, some of the really good riders on the flatter courses are losing touch with the front group. Paul Chocaro, who's well up there in the rankings, although it looks like he's putting a little bit of a burst in. He's around the same point as Bry. And then you can see it's how it's strung out already. Max is a long way down. I would have thought he would have been much higher up. But maybe he's taking this one a little bit easy today. But yeah, big gaps already. Bobby is up there. Bobby's our man today. We'll be keeping an eye on him. Now, who is the American guy that's leading? I don't even see him on the list of entrants. Maybe he's not on Zwift Power. He's just entered through the application. So he won't be in the results. Then we've got the other guy who's I think also a Zwift Power rider. He is a little bit further back, but maybe he's pacing it, biding his time. But it's really, really strung out. So we've got a main group here of around 4 or 5 riders. Yeah, looks like they're going to let that guy go. I think Bobby will, if he paces this well, I think Bobby's going to be right up there tonight. Now, the Japanese rider who's off the front is only 63 kilos. So what Bobby's up against here is Akihiko, who's 63 kilograms, Alex Cooper, who's 52 kilograms, Bobby himself, similar to me, around 68. Jason Robinson is 87 kilograms, and he's well up there, but he's a very, very strong rider. Currently, it's showing their ETAs. I wonder if this is for the climb of 16 minutes 12, which will be absolutely fantastic time if they manage to complete it. It'll be faster than anyone in the first race. But Akihiko, he's off after the Zwift Power rider, which is very impressive riding. In fact, he's going to go past him if he keeps this up. It's incredibly strung out. So Bobby looks like he's working to his heart rate. He's sitting at 165 beats per minute, which is great. Alex Cooper's dropped back a little bit. He's up to 175. Akihiko hasn't got a heart rate monitor. He is grinding. And there's the front guy. So it's going to be difficult to tell what sort of intensity these guys are riding at. And they've got a bit of a break. If Akihiko can make up that gap, there's a lot of potential for drafting on this climb. So let's see, Bobby, he's dropped off a little bit now, and the ETA is everyone is easing back a little bit, it seems. So let's look further down the field what the other herd riders. So we've got Bry, he's about 10 seconds off the lead. Paul Shukaro, he's quite a way behind. He's not pushing up this climb too well. Max, nearly a minute behind now. Let's check further down for the herd guys. Ed is having a good climb. I think he's ahead of where's some of the other herd guys? I don't know if I've. Oh yeah, here we go. So we've got Kyle here. Now, where were the ladies that were in the race? It doesn't look like either of them have started. So in fact, we've only got 5 herd riders overall. But 2 of them are in the top 6. So that's nice racing. So let's get back to Bobby. Bobby is dropping back a little bit now. I'm not sure this is his day today. Alex is pushing on hard. as is Jason Robinson. This is a great ride. This is the nice little respite here at this point, and then he's pushing back up to over 5 watts per kilo. That is very solid. Borders though, Zwift power, relentless at the front. Nothing you can do about that. And yeah, they were wisely didn't bother following him. So good to see Alex having a really good climb. He used to do all the herd winter racing races, but I haven't seen him that often this season. But yeah, he's a very good climber. I mean, look at these numbers. He's at over 6 watts per kilo now and moving up towards 7. So he's having a very good climb. Bobby's dropped back behind Big Bry. He's still over 5 watts per kilo though. But his heart rate has gone right down. So I would say he's not pushing as hard as he normally might. Jason is pushing on really hard. So we've now got the other Japanese rider. Looks like he's actually pulled out. No, this is Akihiko. But then there was another Japanese rider right up the front, and yeah, he's definitely pulled out. So the numbers are thinning out even more. So we've got, if we discount Borders, because he will not be appearing in the results, Jason Robinson's leading. He's got a nice lead. Akihiko chasing him down, but losing time. Big gap to Alex Cooper, who's pushing on hard, having a really good ride today. But Big Bry is not far behind and chasing those guys and actually closing up. So I think Big Bry could catch them, and if he can catch them, it's going to be fantastic for him because he'll get a lot of good draft. He's also got another guy, Scaffardi, coming up behind him that could help him actually close up. Yeah, they're definitely closing 3 seconds. I think Bobby is cruising this one in by the looks of it. He'll probably have a crack at it tomorrow. But at the front, it is closing up, and this is going to be exciting because we're going to have a nice group of 4 fighting it out. In fact, it's a group of 5. Yeah, excellent riding by Big Bry. He's caught them up. He's like steaming past them. No mercy from Big Bry. Alex is putting a bit of a punch to catch. Yeah, this is nice when you can get a group of 5 riding up this, although obviously there's not much draft at a 15% gradient, but this is probably one of the steepest parts of the course. I think it's 9 kilometers in total, so 2.3 to go. It does flatten off for the last kilometer, which is actually really nice. Not that many people will have much of a sprint finish left, but yeah, it's a very welcome flattening off. So let's have a look behind. Is there any chance that any of these guys will close up? Alex is putting a burst in. So still at the front, Jason Robinson. He's got 12 seconds on Akihiko. And Akihiko's got 11 seconds. Oh, actually, it's kind of jumping about a bit. He's got quite a big gap. Well, yeah, quite a big gap. Although the gap is jumping from 10 seconds to 23 seconds. Alex has put a big dig in there. So this is now a group of 4 chasing, but Alex is over 6 watts per kilo, so these guys are going to struggle to catch him. Although it looks like they are making an attempt, and at least they've got the benefit of drafting off each other. So 2 kilometers till the finish. So really only 1 more kilometer of climbing. So keep pushing, guys. Bobby has dropped in with Paul Chocaro. He's still in 12th place, so he's got quite a big gap. Um, and let's check out. We've got Max here. Yeah, I think Max is having an all-out effort today. Then as we go down, um, oh yeah, sorry, I missed out Kenneth Liu. He's on the old Buffalo bike, so if he actually really is on that bike, this is even more of an impressive ride because that is a big old meaty bike. So we've got Kenneth, then we move down, Kyle representing. At least he's got someone to ride with, and then Ed at the back. This, uh, we were talking in the Pinktron podcast, and I think for the lower category riders, some of these big climbs are actually much harder than for the A riders because, you're riding at the same intensity, the heart rate is going to be high, but you're having to ride like 25 minutes, half an hour, whereas the A riders maybe like 16, 17 minutes. So there's Carl, great. Let's just check what's happening back at the front. Is Bobby? He's let Paul go. Bobby is definitely sitting up on this one. But let's check back in at the front. So Alex Cooper, they've chased him down. Big Bry is after him. This is a great effort by Big Bry, and he's putting quite a lot more watts than Alex, and he's caught him. And Alex's heart rate is high. Bry's is 160. Now, I don't know what his max is, but I would say he's got a bit more in the tank than Alex, and they're coming towards the last kilometer where it flattens off, and Bry's pure watts should hold out here. Right back at the front. Yeah, these guys are on the flat. So Jason Robinson, he's got a kilometer to go. It's flattened out now. He's got the win. Akihiko, a nice climb from him. He's on the flat now. Well, it will flatten out any moment. So he's definitely got the second place. I don't see any chance of him catching Jason, but there's no chance of anyone behind. But Big Bry is having a fantastic ride. He is pushing away from Alex Cooper, and this will be a big battle. And Bry's out of the saddle. He's pushing on. Is Alex is just steaming past him. Is Bry gonna respond? He is responding. Oh, this is going to be a fantastic finish. I would expect that once it flattens out, Bry's pure watts, if you look at the wattage, he's over 100 watts more than Alex. And when it flattens out, watts is greater than watts per kilo. So let's see if that is the case. Even though Alex's watts per kilo are quite a bit higher, I would expect Bry to close up and potentially go past him. So, yeah, nice result from Jason. His takes the win, and this is going to be a very, very tight finish. Come on, Bry. You've got about half a kilometre to go. Looks like Alex has done enough here. That's a great ride from Alex. Yeah, he's up to 6 watts per kilo. Bry is bringing it in, but a fine ride. I mean, Bry put a huge effort in to actually catch him up, so that's pretty impressive. From behind, Swinton has got a nice gap on Scafardi. Scafardi's paced it pretty well. He's got going to be a good sprint finish with Oscarthorpe. Let's see if any of them have got much left. Yeah, Oscar Thorpe. Can Safadi respond? I don't think so. Okay, so back down the course, and it's like it's strung right out now. Paul Chocaro coming in. He's got a nice clear 11th place. It's kind of nice when you get to this point and you haven't got anyone riding around you. Because having to sprint after you've ridden up 17, 18 minutes up this hill isn't the best of fun. Now let's see what Bobby's got. He's in a little group. Well, no, he's got another guy. So unfortunately, and he's got the Zwift Power guy. So Bobby, don't worry too much because this guy is not going to appear in the results. But obviously, it's always nice to beat them. And Bobby's got a really good sprint finish. I don't. The Zwift Power guy will not be able to put down anywhere near the watts per kilo that Bobby's going to be able to put down. So I think Bobby's going to get a nice 12th place there. Maybe some of those others aren't on in the results as well. Max is he's actually putting in quite a lot of watts right now. He's pushing on hard. Let's see what Bobby's got. He's just about doing enough to hold this guy off. Yeah, as the guy responds, Bobby just puts a little bit more of a dig in. I think he's going to get it. Good effort, Bobby. Although I would imagine Bobby's going to do this again and get a much better position. Sometimes you're just not quite ready for the pain that this is going to bring. So let's see the final few herders in. So we've got Kenneth Liu. He is on the Buffalo bike. He's actually finished. Excellent job from Kenneth. Then the next one is Kyle. So Kyle has got a small gap from. Let's just have a look around. Yeah, he's got a nice gap there, but he's got one and a half kilometers to go. He's got to get up this steep bit, then it will ease off. And let's just check down to Ed. Ed's got a couple of kilometers left. He's pushing on strong. Let's have a look at Kyle again. Now, Enigenberg, I probably murder-rated his name, but I have never seen that name before. Enigenberg is closing up on Kyle. This is not what we want. Although, yeah, the times sort of jump about a bit on this course. So 3 seconds, 7 seconds, the transponders are with the motorbikes and all that sort of malarkey. Yeah, it looks like Kyle is actually going away, so I think, and it's going to ease off pretty soon. Although he has got another bit of a climb. Yeah, I think he's got enough on this guy. Now Ed, he's putting some good watts out there, and he's only 10 seconds behind Rundquist. Ah, that's up to 20 seconds. It does this just to spite us. Now let's go back to Kyle. Kyle's definitely... This guy behind is keeping him honest here. He can't let up. Can he see the guy in front? No, the guy in front is just a little bit too far ahead, and he's on the... Well, I think he's got a little bit more of another little bit of climby stuff until it flattens off. Yeah, so Carl's on that. Let's just see. Yeah, no, I think Espino has just got over that. He looks like he's got enough on Kyle. And Kyle himself looks like he's got enough on Enigenberg. So with a kilometre to go, Kyle looks like he's safely in probably like 21st or 20th position. I know there's a couple of Zwift Power riders ahead of him who won't appear in the results. And then we've got Ed. Now Ed, yeah, this guy in front, has really eased back. So if Ed keeps this power up, there's no reason why he couldn't catch this guy. And I think this is going to be a quite a close run thing. This guy's okay. Somebody stopped. He's got in front of him. Now the next guy is Avare. Now that guy has pushed it on a bit more now. Yeah, the guy he's back, and Kyle is nearly onto the flat bit. He's got a good gap, and he's just about going away. So I think Kyle's safely. He's safe in probably 20th place. Ed, it's a tall order to catch this guy. I mean, he's really going to have to go for it, but he looks like he's putting in the power. And the guy in front doesn't look like he's going super quick. Let's just see Kyle in. He's just got to go around the corner now. This was an interesting one because the actual finish, was a little bit further round than the banner. So can be a little bit disheartening as you go through the banner and you realise you still got a bit further to go. Yeah, Kyle has secured probably 20th place, which is good. Nice riding, Kyle. Let's get back to Ed. Ed is the last herd rider on the course. Ed is a stalwart of the herd winter racing in the D category. He never gives up. His races can be quite a bit longer than some of the A and B riders, but Ed always pushes on to the finish, and he's generally riding not in a group, so fair play to him, because that's not so easy. Now, there is a guy coming up behind him, Albor. Goodness me, the names tonight are just absolutely insane. So it could see Ed having a little bit of a challenge from this guy. Although Ed's actually putting out some good watts now, but there's not a huge distance, and Albor can see him, and that can inspire people. So it's not a foregone conclusion for Ed to rack up 25th place. And that would be a good result for him. So we have to keep an eye on this Albor guy. And Albor himself is being chased by Sanchez, who's not far behind him. And Sanchez is putting out a little bit more watts. I mean, they're on one of the steepest parts of the course here. Ed will be very happy to know that pretty soon after this, it's going to ease right. It's going to flatten right out. And I think if he's still way in front of this Albor guy, he can do this. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, it doesn't look like he's closing up now. The numbers are just jumping around like crazy. Come on, Ed. It's going to ease down now, just round this corner. And then you've just got a kilometre of pretty flat riding. Well, compared to the rest of the course anyway. Great job. It looks like Ed is going to secure probably 25th place, maybe even higher if there's some other non-Z Power, if there's some other Z Power riders. I don't see Albor is not putting enough additional power in to catch him. Great effort from Ed. Ed's out of the saddle. He's pushing on hard. The finish is in sight for him, and he wants that 25th place. Yeah, Albor is matching him on power, but I don't see him catching him. And he himself, he's not being pushed from behind too much. So yeah, I think Ed is going to have a nice, comfortable ride in here. He's closed right up on Rundqvist. Well, Rundqvist is putting a little bit more watts per kilo out now than Ed. It would take a big effort to catch him, but he's definitely closed up a lot. Yeah, Rundqvist knows he's very near the finish. They've just got around this little loop here. Let's keep our eye on Albor. We don't want him to catch Ed. Come on, Ed. Just round the corner. Give him a ride on. Yeah, there's the ride on. That's going to make all the difference now. It's in the back pocket. It's going to ease right off. And he can see the finish is in sight. This is going to fill him with great feelings. But you can see here on the comms, the guy that finishes just in front of Ed did 29 minutes on the com, like nearly double the time of some of these other riders. That's, and not dissimilar sort of intensity. So it's actually a difficult ride for them. Yeah, nice one, Ed. And that's actually the last of the herd riders. So Ed finished the fifth herd rider today. So great effort. Oh, look at this nice little sprint finish from Ed over nearly 500 watts. Great effort, and he's well in front of Alba, and he's got probably secured 25th place. So that's it, everyone. Some nice riding at the front. I mean, this time here, 16:01, that won't be counted in the results. That was a Zwift Power Rider. Um, I think the next one was 16:34 by Jason Robinson, which was a great result. So thanks very much for listening, everyone. Sorry it was just me tonight. I'll try to drum up a few more people next week. Thanks very much, and I will, until next week, speak to you.